Hey everyone, Russ from Tiberius Images here, photographer based in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and I am here to talk about the Payroll Protection Program, the PPP program that came out back in March and has been a second wave of stimulus money has been approved. And I'm here to talk about it as a small business owner. I'm a solo entrepreneur. It's just me, myself, and I at Tiberius Images. I have some contractors that work with me throughout the year, but I want to just take a few minutes and talk about the Payroll Protection Program and how it can help your business, because I've had multiple conversations over the last, say, 10 days with people about how they didn't apply for it, or they don't think it applies to them. And I'm here to tell you that it does apply to you. And this is coming from not from a position of legal advice as an attorney or tax advice as an accountant, but I'm here to let you know that that's a program that we took advantage of at Tiberius Images. So I'm here to say that the money is real, in case you were worried about it. The money is real. It is a process that you have to go through, and I just wanted to take a few minutes, like I was saying, to walk through what we did to take advantage of it and kind of how it can frame maybe the next 60, 90, 120 days for your business and maybe be a blessing in disguise. So like I said, I'm a small business owner. It's me, myself, and I have several contractors. I've been in business for 17 years. I photograph events, corporate headshots, and weddings throughout the year. And I work probably 200 days a year, so I'm a busy guy, working lots and lots of different clients and lots of different projects. And the first time I knew something was going on, maybe like you, I was at an event in Grand Rapids in early March, and in a room where there should have been about 500 people that were registered for an event, when we showed up for the event, about half the room was empty, and I knew that something was going on. That day, the hotel that we were at, they told me that they had over 10 events cancel in a single day, and I had other people telling me in the event industry that things were going to be canceling, and it was going to be canceling for a while. And so I started looking at what the government was doing when it came to stimulus money and unemployment, all those different things, and we decided to apply for the Payroll Protection Program loan option. And the reason we did that was because it covered a few things. Number one, it covers us as a business owner. It covers wages that we earn, whether we pay ourselves through payroll, right? A lot of people are thinking, oh, I don't pay myself with, taking taxes out. I don't give myself a check. And we don't either. We have never treated our business that way. It's just us. So whatever we get at the end of the year, that's kind of what we show and pay taxes on. And so that may or may not be the best way to do business, but that's how we've been running our business. And so what we looked at was, how does this apply to someone like me, where I just kind of have a Schedule C, right? I report income to the government. This is one of those scenarios where maybe if you're a full-time employee and you take photos for chance, you do creative work on the side and you don't report it to the government, it's not necessarily helping you in this scenario. But if you do, and you do a Schedule C, which is part of your 1040 tax return, just shows profit or loss from a business, that's the only document you need, really, at least that all I needed to be able to apply for this payroll protection loan. And so what we did was we were able to look at the program, and what ends up happening, and the beauty of it, at least in the beginning here, is that you can apply for a loan that's basically good for 2.5 months of your wages and the wages of contractors or employees that you might have. So for simple math, what you're able to do is, let's say you made $60,000. At the bottom of your Schedule C, you might have made $100,000 in revenue, $40,000 in expenses, and you have $60,000 in revenue left over at the end of the year. Well, what you do is you simply do the math in your head, right? Divide that by 12 months, right? That ends up being $5,000 a month. Okay, and so the Payroll Protection Program allows you to take 2.5 months worth of wages, income, as a loan. Okay, so 5,000 times 2.5 is 5,000, 10,000, $12,500. That would be the loan amount for you yourself. Now you add in there other things like rent and utilities, right? Maybe you have a $600 a month rent payment, and so 2.5 months of that. Say you have health insurance, it works for health insurance as well. So maybe you have a health insurance payment that's $500 a month, so 2.5 months of that, 500, 1,000, 1,250, right? And let's say on your Schedule C you show that you had $10,000, call it $12,000 just for easy math, of contractors that you paid, right? Maybe second shooters, maybe video people, whoever it was, you paid $12,000 worth of labor to 1099 contractors. Well, the PPP program allows you to take that $12,000, again, divided by 12 months, that's $1,000 a month, and then you're able to take basically 2.5 months of that, so $2,500. And that money is to go towards your 1099 contractors, and you get to divvy that up. So at the end of the day, right, you take your wages from the bottom of whatever your profit amount was from your business, utilities, rent, health insurance, and then contractors. Those items are all listed as forgivable items within the PPP program. So that what you're going to be doing is applying for this loan, right? It is a loan. So you're going not necessarily to the government, you're not going to the SBA even, you're going to your bank. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go and talk to your business banker, right? So for me, I bank at 3 different banks. I reached out to all of them and I heard back from one of them about the PPP program. So that's who I did the transaction with. I did it with Huntington Bank right here. So they're based in Ohio, but they have branches here and they've been great to work with. And so you want to reach out to your business banker and say, I want to apply for the PPP program. And they're going to send you an application. Basically, it's 4 pages. This is not from Huntington. This is not from any specific bank. This is from the SBA. It's a 4-page application, right? As you look at this, you will see, if you just Google PPP application on Google, you will get this PDF. The craziest part about it is the only financial information that you need to do is from up here above. Literally, there's like 2 lines of financial information that you do. And then you submit that through with your Huntington, with your banker, whoever that happens to be, and they will submit that to the SBA. And the crazy part about doing that is you're going to have a little gumption in following up, right? Because to give you perspective of how crazy this program was, Huntington Bank told me that their best year ever closing loans for small business loans throughout an entire year was 35,000 loans in 1 year. In 10 days, they got 30,000 applications from businesses like mine and other customers that they have already. That wasn't including the folks who were not Huntington customers that applied as well. That's just Huntington customers. So they are a little busy, to say the least. So every business banker you're talking to right now, they're busy. But with a second wave of stimulus money coming, I want my friends who are in the photo world, who are in the graphic design world, who are in the video world, to know that if you're just you, if it's just you, you can still apply for this amount of money. So again, if you made $60,000 and you had $12,500 in wages for yourself, $2,500 for contractors, that's $1,500. And then let's say you had health insurance and rent on top of that. That's going to be $15,000 plus, and that's what the loan is going to be for. And you're going to have to sign a document, right, saying that it's 6 months of no payments, and then after that it's 1% interest for 24 months, and so it's a 24-month loan. However, the whole process, what's going to happen is at the end of the day, in July or August, and the bank can't really talk about this right now, other than they know that you're going to need to do it, is you as the person getting the loan. It will be on you to reach out to the bank and say, hey, just so you know, guys, I took out this amount of money, right? Call it $15,000. That's what I got. That's what my loan is for. And I paid myself $12,500. See this transaction right here? This was me paying myself that amount of money. And then the $2,500 that's left over, I paid it out in these 3 different disbursements to my 1099 contractors. So here's the $15,000 I took, and here's the $15,000 in disbursements that I had. And so all of a sudden, I want you to forgive the loan. And somehow, we're not really sure exactly how this is going to work yet, but somehow the loan will be forgiven by the SBA and therefore will be forgiven by the bank that you go through. So again, it's one of those scenarios where I know people want to apply for unemployment and maybe be frustrated with the system. That's totally okay. You're welcome to do that in the situation you want, or the situation you're in right now. However, if you have made money with your business, if you have a significant amount, imagine if you made $120,000 on your Schedule C. That's how much a month? That's $10,000 a month. So 2.5 months is $25,000 just for you, let alone if you have contractors that you pay as well, or health insurance or rent. It can be a significant amount of money for you and for your business, right? For us, we had, again, early March, we had events that were severely reduced in attendance, and all of a sudden, everything canceled, right? So I've had 0 events in the second half of March, none in April so far, and everything in May except I think 1 thing is canceled because it's very small. And so at the end of the day, we're still, at least in Michigan, we're here quarantined or on shelter in place until May 15th. So I'm not going out, not able to earn income. And so that's why the PPP program has been so beneficial. So how the process worked was I applied with the bank and the banker. It was all done over the phone. I didn't have to sign anything for the initial application to be done. And then I had to wait, right? The application was done. I didn't have to turn any finance documents in. It was just the application done over the phone. They submitted it to the SBA. And then it took about 2 weeks. So here's the kicker, right? If you have to follow up. I was following up probably every 3 days with the banker that I applied with. Hey, what's the status? Hey, what's the status? Hey, what's the status? And the response was, you have an SBA number for the loan, and we're just waiting for the closing person in our main office to be able to get through it, right? Because again, 30,000 applications, they got a lot of work to do. And remember, everybody in the bank's working remotely as well. And so I eventually got a phone call from the banker that was going to close the loan, and they did ask for documentation. They asked for documentation that could support the amount of dollars that I was requesting through this PPP program. And I just sent them a couple pieces of information. Again, my Schedule C, just one page of that, and one other calculation. And that's how I got to where the amount that we requested was. And they reviewed it, literally same day, called me back, said, great, here's the documents, here's how you close. And I simply had to go and drop off the information at the local bank through the drive-through. And it took 48 hours to have it funded. And we've had friends that have small businesses that are all online that have been funded. We've had friends that own coffee shops that have been funded. Friends that own big insurance agencies get funded. So just know that the money is real. And so it's a matter of, do you want to take advantage of this? I mean, I see so many people that are struggling and they're not sure what to do because, we had weddings get pushed from, May and June. They're getting pushed to, September, October, November. So revenue is going to be down in May and June and probably July as well. It's just one of those scenarios where everything keeps moving. And so I just want to get this out there so to let you know that you can apply for PPP dollars if you're a sole proprietor. If you're just by yourself. Again, I have 1099 contractors that have not applied, and so I'm going to use the dollars that I had allocated for them. And so it's just a way that I can, as a business owner, be able to give back to the people that I'm working with. I'm really happy that I can do that. We've had great conversations around it. Some of them it's a big blessing. Some of them don't need it because they're still busy with other things. Maybe they have a job that they work at, and maybe that's where you're at too. You have a job and you're blessed to be working right now, so you don't have to worry about the money, but that's not the case for everyone. So if you're a business owner that's sole proprietor like I am, I can't speak to anyone who has 10 employees or 100 employees or 1,000 employees, any of that stuff. I mean, 1,000 doesn't even count, right? 500 or less, but I can't speak to those scenarios, but I can speak to a small business who is a solo operator like I've been for 17 years, that I have clients that I serve, and all of a sudden revenue just gone for 90 days. And we're trying to figure out what to do. And this federal government came out and said, hey, these loans can be forgiven if you use them for these purposes. And just know that you can still get the loan. Just remember, you can still get the loan and use it for other stuff if you want. It's just a loan at that point that you're obligated to pay back to the bank. For me, I applied for the loan so that I could use it for what it's intended for: payroll, utilities, insurance, payroll, utilities, and insurance, and then contractors, obviously payroll as well. So those are the things that we're going to be using the dollars for. And so hopefully that's a help to you as you navigate the world of, I don't know what's going on, but I keep hearing about this PPP program. More money is coming, right? The president signed the document on Friday to pass it into law this past week. And so it's going to be coming. So the best thing you can do is reach out to your banker, get the application ready, and get your Schedule C ready that you maybe have from 2019. You can use 2018 if you have to, but and then maybe a profit and loss statement, P&L statement, saying what you've done over the past few months of revenue, because that'll just come into them how they weight the 2.5 months, right? Because if you just do all of 2019, that might be different. You might have had a busy January and February, and that could bump that amount up because you had a really busy January and February compared to January and February of 2019. So if you have questions, I'll be happy to help. Again, I'm not an expert. I am just simply trying to let you know that the money is real, it is there, it gets deposited in your account. So it's not like the money doesn't exist. And I want to be able to help more people be able to weather this storm, right? Because the best statement I heard yesterday from a friend of mine was that we're all in the same storm, we're just in different ships. And there are some ships that are taking a hammering right now, and there are some ships that have the wind behind them and their sails out front, and they're just going like crazy, right? I mean, think about it. If you're in the food industry right now, or like grocery or healthcare, right? You're busy, right? Whereas photography, I'm not busy because I can't go out and take photos. So it's just a different world. So we're all in the same storm, and we're all going to have to weather it. And we need to be looking out for those that are getting pounded in the storm right now. And so that's what I hope that this video can do, is help be a blessing to you, help you maybe understand it a little bit, just because the language just seems so crazy around all of this, because it's just something that we're not used to doing. We've never seen it before. We may never see it again. I would guess that later on this year there's going to be more funding, more stimulus just with what's going to happen with the economy, because everything's not going to bounce right back. You're still going to have social distance office, social distance events, socially distanced schools, socially distanced universities. It's still going to be impacted through the summer and the fall. And so I want to be able to help you guys now be able to have these dollars, if you can, in your pocket, in your bank account, so that you can weather the storm as well and come out on the other side a stronger business. I hope this helps. We look forward to hearing from you.